There needs be opposition in all things, or God would not be God. Yeah. Well, let me tell you one thing. God is always God. And yes, there is oppositions. But who really wants opposition more than anything? One who wants contention and wants you to worship opposites more. Opposition, I am that which I am opposite of as well. And that is the truth of you. You have an enemy that is your opposite. Love him. Do good to him. That is why. There is opposition in all things. Let me give you the opposite of white. All that is not white. So red is the opposite of white. And you just see black. I wanted to add that through that breath that is in you, that is you, you are in the Father, you are in the Son is in you, even that breath. And through that breath you are able to do anything. And that is the eternal truth of you. Abel. Who is Abel? Look up the name Abel. Abel was Adam's son, and that means breath. So every time you say the word able and your ability, I want you to think of that breath. That breath says you are able. You are able to do all things. And that is what Christ said, have faith. Even if you don't have it in this life, my friends. Anything you ask for, it is there. You have the ability to be all things you want in the eternities. And I do not appreciate someone having a hierarchy thing, thinking that that's going to be taken away from any soul. That is not God's plan. That is more like Lucifer's plan. So think about that next time you talk about your 3 degrees of glory and how that is taking the place of the life that is eternal. That which is boundless, that its bounds are made of itself as well. One more analogy real fast. Think of all as water for just one moment. Let us say all is water, for God looked upon the face of the waters, and we already talked about waters, matters, mater, M-A-T-E-R, mother. He looked upon the face of the waters, and all is waters. Now what are we supposed to make bounds with if all is waters? Why not ice? That would be nice. So, even ice is made of water. It is the same H2O. So, even the bounds are made of the same thing that is on both sides. And that is why he even said you could move mountains. Because even that which is bound is made of the same thing that is on both sides. All is H2O in that water then, okay? No matter what you call the waters. I call them matters, but everything matters, so. But we have nothing to make it out of but that which it is itself. So the bounds are beautiful, and we use them. We use them to learn, to experience, to gain awareness, and that's part of the process. But God is not damned, and you're not going to damn God. I'm sorry, my friends, but if you have made this God into a big bully and turned God into a Goliath, he is going to have to go down. I'm sorry to say, and I do not want you to go down with him. That which seeks to exalt itself will be debased. Look at what it debased in order to exalt itself higher, and then call it its foundation and base. Honestly, you are not to judge, for you may find out that you have been pointing out the worst thing and been following that path all along. And that is the irony of the rod. And Jesus told you not to judge. Who is worthy? Who is worthy? Who is worthy? That is what Mormons ask. Am I still worthy? That one is worthy. I want to stay worthy. These are things Mormons say. And it's very stressful. The test is stressful when you follow the tester. It just is. Unfortunately, you have to put hell in place in order to make that high heaven, don't you? And I will have to say, did you do that? Because that's what the Lord would say. In fact, you would too. You would say, you are exalted, and you did that to do it? Well, we needed to have the lower in order to have the higher. You made the lower in order to make the higher. Wow. Now look what you did. Will you please go clean it up? And you say, up. But we are the higher. Have you ever noticed that we use that word up a lot? I messed up. Up is a mess. Well, why don't we clean up? Up? I thought you were going to clean down. We don't say clean down. Why is that Freudian slip? We say clean up, mess up, make up, cover up. Wow. What is this up that you are keep talking about? And why do you bow your head when you pray to God? Yet you say he is up and higher. These are signs to you of things you have been saying all along. And I ask you to look at them, please. Here are a couple more I wanted to add with up. Listen to how we use these words. I'm going to speed up. Speed up. You must think fast is up. Well, it's not slow. Do you hear the word low and slow? Oh, those are the lower intelligences. They are slow. If you are fast, you must be so light. Light, L-E-I-G-H-T, just like the word height, with an 8 after it. You are so late, says Einstein. I'm sorry, the doors are already closed. You are trying to be too light. Light is late. Height is hate. These words rhyme and sound that way and are spelt that way for a meaning, because even the graphing of the words are signs. Even the spelling can point it out or blind you from it. Listen to the homophones, the sounds of the words, and look at the spellings we have chosen, and you might see something that has not been hidden all along. Hate, H-E-I-G-H-T. Late, L-E-I-G-H-T. I ate something. I am eating without eating anything. Think about that. What is the eternal and what is the immortal? I am eating without eating anything. I am eating nevertheless. Which one would be the nevertheless? The eternal. And you want to have eternal life, but you cannot say nevertheless? You must be seeking just immortality instead. Well, surely, to not know eternal life is spiritual death. And to not know eternal life is to not know that all is one, including the war of heaven is one. W-O-N. But you still like contention. And contention is of the devil. So I ask you to take the word and take that S off from the beginning. Will you put your sword down, Peter? We don't strike someone's ear. You put the sword down, the word, and the word is just there, and it's one word, and it's not on anything. It is one. It is Sunday, the soul day, which is the millennium. And until you are able to do that, then you're just going to have to hold on to Saturday. I wanted to let the world know one more time. I do not want you to be confused about me. I told you I was called David, and I indeed was, and I am not going to lie. I was called David 3 times, just like Samuel was woken up 3 times, except for mine was by calling his name. Mine, I was called David. But I was not called the soul of David, the son of David. That is not what I was called. I was not called the son of David. I was not called the soul of David. I was called David. And I was told that it does have to do with King David and something I'm supposed to do in this life. That is what I was told. And I was told that I had an experience of my soul where I was a high priest that wore purple. And I don't have any recollection about that except for that it has been told to me. But I was not called the soul of David, which you call the son of David. I was called David. Jesus said, before David, I am. He said, before David, I am. And I want to tell you again, I was not called the soul of David. I was called David. So please don't get confused, okay? And I want to make sure you know that